Have you ever sat staring at a food delivery app for 20 minutes, trying to figure out what to eat tonight? Or maybe you stood in front of your closet wondering which shirt to wear to an event you re-excited for, even though you've worn both a dozen times. Is it really just analysis paralysis, or is there more to it than that? These aren't life-altering choices, but somehow they can feel surprisingly difficult. So why do we sometimes hesitate over the smallest decisions? Our goal is not to pretend that we can explain everything about the psychology of decision-making in one video. Rather, we aim to shed light on some interesting findings from social psychology research that may help viewers better understand their own decision-making processes. Why do we stall? How does our brain respond to options? And most importantly, how can we make decisions faster and with less stress? As the day goes on, your brain gradually depletes its limited mental energy reserves. While making hundreds of daily choices, such as resisting the urge to eat cookies, refrain from using profanity, and avoid thinking about pleasant sexual images. After completing these tasks, participants were given a choice between 2 drinks, and researchers observed that those who had exerted more self-control throughout the day were less likely to choose the more desirable option, suggesting that self-control is a limited resource that can be depleted through the day. By the time you reach the evening, your decision-making capabilities are significantly diminished, making even minor choices feel mentally taxing. Another reason we might hesitate over certain choices is that we're afraid of choosing wrong. We worry about the consequences of our decisions, even if they are minor. Real-world situations, like choosing what to eat or wear, can also be affected by decision fatigue. You might find yourself fixated on whether a particular outfit looks good, or if people will judge your appearance. Instead of focusing on potential mistakes or negative outcomes, try to focus on the bigger picture and remind yourself that minor setbacks are a natural part of decision-making and won't have long-term significance. FOMO arises from the belief that you might be missing out on a better alternative, and it can be particularly pronounced when faced with numerous appealing options, ultimately leading to feelings of dissatisfaction and regret. Instead of enjoying the event, you spend the whole time worrying about your attire, but you find yourself wandering aimlessly through crowded aisles with hundreds of products. The abundance of options can become overwhelming and exhausting, leaving you feeling paralyzed and uncertain of what to choose. You consider various genres, actors, and directors, but the more choices you explore, the more overwhelmed you become. Having too many options can lead to hesitation and dissatisfaction, highlighting the importance of carefully considering the number of choices presented to consumers. Suddenly you're plagued with thoughts like, what if I forget something? What if I stumble over my words? What if everyone thinks I look stupid? It might be helpful to remind yourself that there is no guarantee that the other options are better, and that making a choice allows you to fully immerse yourself in the selected experience, rather than being distracted by what you're missing out on. Ultimately, you end up feeling dissatisfied with your selection, and still end up scrolling mindlessly, missing out on a potentially enjoyable movie. They worry about appearing incompetent or inadequate, and this fear can lead to procrastination or seeking excessive reassurance. Instead of viewing decisions as tests of your competence, try to see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Because you have too many options, but because you're unsure of what truly matters to you. By embracing a growth mindset, you can approach decisions with curiosity and resilience, which can help overcome hesitation caused by taking the time to clarify our goals and values. We can make decisions that align with what we want and reduce feelings of uncertainty or regret. Additionally, seeking guidance from mentors, friends, or family members can provide valuable insights and perspectives that can help you gain clarity. Remember, sometimes the hardest decisions are also the most important ones. By facing our fears and uncertainties, we can move forward with resilience and determination. We might not have a clear understanding of what we want or need, making it difficult to choose a path forward. For example, in a study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology, researchers found that individuals who had greater decision-making fatigue were more likely to buy unhealthy fast food during lunchtime, whereas those with more energy remaining were more likely to select healthier options. In this video, we'll break down the real psychology behind hesitation. It can manifest as a need for absolute certainty or a fear of uncertainty, leading to rumination and heightened anxiety. Before we jump in, we want to acknowledge that the process of decision-making is very complex and involves many factors, including cognitive biases, emotional influences, and environmental cues. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology demonstrated that consumers were more likely to buy wine from a display with fewer options, even though the selection was objectively more varied. To answer the question, we'll first examine 6 factors that might lead to hesitation and then discuss effective strategies for overcoming it. Factor No. 1. Decision fatigue. Have you ever noticed that by the evening you don't have the energy to make decisions anymore? Maybe you find yourself ordering takeout because cooking seems like too much effort, or perhaps you settle for watching TV instead of reading a book, because choosing a captivating story requires more concentration than you have left in the tank. Well, this phenomenon is not just laziness. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as decision fatigue. For instance, in an experiment conducted by Roy F. Baumeister and colleagues, participants were given a series of tasks requiring This tendency to become fatigued when making decisions is not limited to hypothetical scenarios. So if you often find yourself hesitating over minor decisions, especially late in the day, decision fatigue could be a contributing factor. Factor No. 2. Overthink. For instance, let's say you're deciding what to wear for a casual event. This tendency to overanalyze minor decisions is driven by a fear of making mistakes or experiencing negative outcomes. In a study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, researchers found that individuals with high trait neuroticism, a personality characterized by negative emotions such as anxiety and depression, were more likely to ruminate and experience negative consequences when making decisions. To combat overthinking, try reframing the way you approach decisions. Factor 3. Fear of missing out. Imagine spending a Friday night scrolling through Netflix trying to decide what to watch. This scenario illustrates the phenomenon of fear of missing out, or FOMO, which can cause hesitation when making decisions. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that individuals who experienced higher levels of effort were more likely to compare themselves to others and were more susceptible to social pressure. So if you're feeling stuck deciding between multiple enticing options, factor number 4. Choice overload. Now imagine walking into a grocery store with just 3 items on your shopping list. Research suggests that having an excessive number of options can lead to choice overload, making it difficult to select the best one. Similarly, in an experiment conducted by Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper, participants were offered a wider variety of chocolates, jams, or cookies, and were less likely to purchase a product from the larger selection, even though the quality of the products was similar. This tendency to struggle with an abundance of choices is known as the paradox of choice. Factor No. 5. Self-doubt. Picture this: you're about to give a presentation at work, and despite hours of preparation, you find yourself doubting your abilities. These doubts and worries can make it challenging to confidently move forward, and this struggle with self-confidence and external expectations can impact our everyday decision-making process. Many people, especially those who have faced criticism or rejection in the past, grapple with the fear of making decisions that others might judge or criticize. One way to address this issue is to reframe the way you think about decision-making. Incorporating mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing exercises can also help you stay grounded in the present moment and focused on your values, which can guide your decision-making process. Factor number 6. Lack of clarity. Finally, sometimes our hesitation stems from a lack of clarity about our preferences or goals. For instance, you might struggle to decide on a career path, relationship, or lifestyle change. Not in these cases, hesitation can be a sign that we need to take a step back and reflect on our values, aspirations, and priorities. One way to improve clarity is through journaling or engaging in mindfulness practices that allow you to connect with your inner thoughts and feelings. Building self-awareness through activities like personality tests or therapy can also help you better understand your motivations and desires, leading to more informed and decisive choices. Hesitation is a universal human experience. By understanding the reasons behind our hesitancy, we can develop strategies to overcome it and make decisions with greater confidence and clarity. So what strategies have you found helpful in overcoming hesitation and making decisions more confidently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful mental health videos. Thanks for watching and take care.